Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. This is Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo and Edie Woodson. I've just been notified that Michael Bullock will not be on the show tonight, so we're just going to dive right in, go into SmackDown Live, and oh my, what an episode this was here tonight. And we started it off, well, with the new Miss Money in the Bank, Carmella. She got her opportunity to tell her side of the story about the Money in the Bank ladder match that pretty much triggered a lot of fan anger, a lot of hostility, and trust me, it caused one heck of a ruckus when we were doing the recap video on Sunday night. And if you did not go back into the archives and check it out. But I do need to warn you guys that that show does contain adult language and very adult reactions that may not be suitable for younger viewers. So accordingly, parental guidance and viewer discretion is advised when you're watching that video. You got to be 18 years or older in order to watch that video. Now, going into tonight, I loved Carmella. I loved the negative heat that she was trying to generate on the WWE universe, and for once the fan base went after her. They went after her. They went after James Ellsworth. She kind of was a little timid, a little nervous because this is quite a big stage for her now. She is, and the way she won it, I think it's going to be a very telling sign. But one other thing that needs to be addressed, or I must say, is I love the fact how she talked about, well, you know, a lot of Money in the Banks in the past have been not so clean. Most notably, Kane helped Seth Rollins win the Money in the Bank a few years ago and claimed and there was no arguments, there was no gripe, nobody made an eyelash about it. Or 2 years ago, when interfered in the Money in the Bank, costing Roman Reigns the opportunity at winning the Money in the Bank ladder match that year. Again, no arguments, no gripe. Nobody was angry about this. So what's the foul here? Why is there a foul? There's no disqualifications and everything else. Basically, I think that was that was kind of Carmella's way, nonchalantly, wink, not wink, basically throwing everything that Dee Woodson threw at us about the Money in the Bank on Sunday night. She kind of threw in a way. She kind of threw it right back at Dee face, saying, "Well, okay, you made all this stuff, but according to the rule book, those are not against anything." All right, fine, fair enough. Because, like we said, Money in the Bank is a no DQ match. We cannot stress that enough. But for the integrity and the honor of the Money in the Bank, no doubt about it. This smelled foul in so many levels, so many things, and even I, as a member of the SmackDown crew, I felt disgusted after what happened. So obviously, Daniel Bryan had a major situation on his hand. He said he was going to rectify it, that he was talking with WWE Brass, that he was talking with Shane McMahon, and that we were going to get a little bit later on in the evening. And throughout the course of the night, each lady from the Money in the Bank had their moment with Daniel Bryan, and we'll get to Bryan's decision a little bit later on in the evening. But for now, this was a great segment, and it really was, I believe, was a coming out moment for Carmella. I thought her promo was really good. She generated really good negative heat on her because of the Money in the Bank. And on top of that, it solidified her as the heel in this situation. So for me, I think it served a lot of purpose. even though she looked very timid, she looked very nervous, but once she got into the flow of it, she looked a lot more better. So for me, I thought this was solid. I thought they did a great job with this. Anthony Floyo, come on in. What did you think about the opening segment tonight on SmackDown Live? Carmella and her quote unquote coronation as Miss Money in the Bank.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, it was a very good promo. Yeah, it overstayed its welcome a bit, but she had very good heat and made a good case from her character's perspective. I mean, that's what it is. Even if you hated the finish, you have to admit they're doing a good job. It's the centerpiece storyline, and the players who have spoken have made their cases, while Daniel Bryan has acted conflicted, which served as a nice hook for whatever his decision was. And that's all I can say about that. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, I mean, a great way to start it off. I mean, the IWC definitely came after Carmella and Ellsworth. I mean, if you noted it on social media, you noted it on Twitter. I mean, that's all there is to say on that. So, yeah, everybody made their points, and Daniel Bryan had a decision to make, and he made a decision, all right. Oh boy, he made a decision, and we're definitely going to address that elephant in the room at later in the show. But that's really my piece on that. So I would probably say maybe the second best segment of the night here. I mean, one other segment was better. I think you know where I'm going, so that's all I can say there. So I've said my piece there. Good segment. A little bit overstayed its welcome, but other than that, fine for what it was. So that's exactly what a good heel needs to do. Talk down to the fans, get back at the fans. Yeah, that was a scathing promo. Well done, darling. Well done. Say what you want about her. I know she had a lot of haters. I know Dee Whitson's one of them, and I can understand that. But hey, I thought she came off really good. That was one of the best female heel promos I've heard in a long time. So well done, darling. So with that being said, Dee Whitson, I know you're ready to unleash on Carmella here, so have at it.
Oh yeah, yeah. The segment was good, but I think everybody knows that watched Sunday night exactly how I feel about this. And it sounds like WWE is changing rule books here. Yes, it's no disqualifications, but they still have to retrieve it themselves. All the points she brought up was just interference, not somebody climbing the ladder and grabbing the title belt and handing it to them to win. So really, she didn't completely prove her point. So without rehashing Sunday night, I'm going to end it there, but I will agree it was the second best promo of the night because they did get the heat they were supposed to get. But personal feelings, I would like to go strangle both of them, so I'll leave it at that.
All right, sorry to interrupt, guys. All right, so right now we're gonna get into the first fight of the night. It was a singles match: Jimmy Uso versus Big E Langston. Big E wins it in about 6 minutes. So Anthony, lead off.
2 to 2.5 stars. Big E's win keeps the New Day momentum going as they chase the champions. I mean, it was a solid match. We got that split screen commercial break thing that I like a lot. I wish Raw would do that. I'm gonna keep saying that until I'm blue in the face, and that's pretty much it on that. So, I mean, fine TV match for what it was, TV quality, good action throughout. And, the Usos were trying to walk out again, another cop-out finish like we had on Sunday night. But Kofi and New Day were not having it. Kofi did his little trust fall move on the Uso there. And then Xavier said, boy, you better get back in that ring. Boy, you better get back in that ring. And then Big E tried to grab him, but then a cheap shot, But then Big E caught him and knocked him out took him down with the big ending there. And that's really all I can say there. So 2 to 2.5 stars is my rating for this bout. So, like I said, his win keeps New Day with the momentum as they continue to chase. And not sure. I mean, there will be a rematch at the earliest possible date. Only thing is we don't know when that earliest possible date is. Will it be a future SmackDown Live? Will they save it for the next pay-per-view Battleground on the 23rd of next month? I don't know. We'll see. So 2 to 2.5 stars. Didi, what's in it's yours?
Yeah, I agree with the rating. I'm tired of the walkout, cop-out finishes too, and I'm glad they did something about it tonight and didn't let them get away with that. So not much more I'm going to have to say about it. So Fletch, is yours.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.5 star rating. I thought it was a very solid match. Everybody did everything that they needed to do very well, and I love the fact that they try to do the cheating or try to do the cop out finish, but this time they were able to neutralize them, use the numbers game, and they did what they had to do. Well done. Nothing bad to say about it. So we're just gonna move on. There was a promo segment, well, backstage, Randy Orton with Tom Phillips, and basically Orton was saying, well, after what happened on Money in the Bank, this was personal, that he was going to make it and was going to take it on and the whole 9 yards of more vicious Viper. All right. The next fight we had was Dolph Ziggler one-on-one with Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura wins the bout in 16 minutes and 50 seconds. D. Woodson, match.
Oh boy. Honestly, for me, I'm tired of seeing these two fight, but in the end, I'm glad Nakamura won it. I'm going to probably give it 2.5 stars. But I am tired of seeing these two fight. I hope this rivalry ends pretty soon because it's starting to get to that point of, go home. So not much more I have to say about it. So take it for a spin.
All right, I'm gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it was supposed to be my turn anyway, but I'm gonna say no. I did. I actually disagree with you, Didi Woodson. I thought this was a 3-star fight. This was a really, really, really good match. And as a matter of fact, this was Nakamura's best match since coming to the SmackDown roster. Let's say that. I thought it was believable. I love the body of work. I think everything was great about the matchup. Everything looked so good. I felt it. I felt a connection with this fight. I enjoyed it. I got nothing bad to say about it. I thought this was without a doubt at least of the night. So I'm gonna give this about 3 stars. Fight of the night, Anthony. All right, my friend. Now it's yours.
This is an agree to disagree situation. I agree with Didi Woodson that I'm kind of I am kind of getting a little tired of Nakamura and Ziggler. It's done. It's over. We should have been moved on from it. I mean, we saw it at Backlash. That it should have been a one-off there, but I guess they wanted to give us a better match, I guess. So I can understand that. But where I disagree with Edie is the rating. I think she underscored it. MF, you're right there. But I'm leaning more towards 3.25 to 3.5 for me. I mean, this was, to me, the fight of the night. It was a very good match, similar to the Backlash match in terms of competitiveness and length. Many fans were ready to see a Nakamura showcase in the Backlash match, so that one just didn't click. I was more open to a competitive match this time around, and it really worked for me. It was important to show the casual WWE viewers how good a Nakamura match can be. This, and this is where I agree with you, MF. This was the best showcase he's had on SmackDown Live, and the broadcast team did a nice job of putting over his offense. And 16 minutes and 50 seconds, very competitive match, and all I can say there is Shinsuke won it the only way he knew how. He did it with the Kinshasa, and I know if MF and I were doing the commentary, he would have yelled out Kinshasa like Corey Graves, and we would have had fun and ran with it from there. So that's all I can say there. So 3.25, 3.5 stars, fight of the night, no doubt about it. So MF, let's move on.
Then we had a United States title fight. Kevin Owens made an open challenge to anybody that lives in Dayton, Ohio. Well, somebody actually took the challenge. Chad Gable of the American Alphas. Well, after the fact that AJ Styles tried to jump in first and get the opportunity, and Owens kind of denied him. And, you know, he gave him Chad Gable came out, say, I actually live in Dayton now. I just moved recently. And he's like, what's the address? He gave him the address. AJ actually confirmed it and said, let's do it. The winner of the bout and still the United States champion is Kevin Owens. This was actually a surprising good match. I was a little surprised with this. I could give this about maybe 2.25 stars. Yeah, I know, very short for the liking, but I thought this was a really good match. Well done. So, Anthony, I give it to you.
I'm giving it a solid 2.5 stars. It was a fun sequence that set up the bout, and then an entertaining match that finally led to the return of American Alpha to television. Now, I did hear something with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens dedicated this match to late AIW co-founder Chris Bryan, who passed away on Monday. He was known as Chandler Biggins. He died late last night after undergoing emergency surgery in March due to a bacterial infection. And Owens wrote in his memorial about meeting Bryan in 2013, saying, "It usually takes me a while to warm up to people, but I remember liking John Thorne and Chris right away. I knew nothing of them personally, but their love and passion for wrestling was palpable, and it made me want to work for them more often immediately." He added that he kept in contact with Bryan once he signed with WWE, saying, "Chris left us way too soon, but seeing the outpouring of love for him from people all over the world linked in some way to wrestling, be it as fans, performers, or something else, has been amazing." He noted that he dedicated his SmackDown match tonight to Bryan and said, "Goodbye, Chris. We love you, buddy. Rest well and tell Dusty I said hi." So Kevin Owens, that match tonight, he did that match with a heavy heart. That's all I can say there. So say what you want about him, but I thought that was very classy in the way he handled that. So very good. So that was a great way to dedicate it to your fallen friend there. And who knows, maybe Chad Gable was probably part of that too. Maybe that's why it was him and Gable who had that match. I don't know. Maybe there's more to that. But nonetheless, 2.5-star match. I would have loved to have seen more, but it is what it is. And hey, it looks like we might be bringing back the U.S. Open Challenge. Another A-plus move. Well done. Wouldn't you agree, Didi Woodson, as we move on to you?
Oh, yeah, I agree with the rating and everything. Going back to the other match, it was match of the night, yes. But the main reason I scored it so low is I am tired of seeing these two fight. But I would agree that it was Nakamura's best match in WWE. But this one, yeah, I would agree with most everything y'all said, so I'm not going to add anything to it. So let's go on.
All right, sorry guys, I was with somebody quickly, but all right. The next thing we had was, well, the moment, the Money in the Bank conversation. Daniel Bryan came out, and he said it was decision time. He made the decision and made it. All the women out, and yeah, James Ellsworth was there too. And he talked about the letter of the law, and we never had another person who grabbed the briefcase, unhinged it. This is uncharted territory. Well, Ellsworth does a cheap pop, takes a shot at saying that, you know what, now that you're a daddy, you're going soft. Oh no. Daniel Bryan explodes on Ellsworth, saying that if you ever say anything about my daughter again, I will drop you and fire you on the spot. Getting a massive pop from the fans. And then here's the decision, and one I think we all can agree on. Carmella has been stripped of the Money in the Bank. And next week on SmackDown Live, for the first time ever on network television, a women's Money in the Bank ladder match with the 5 women that went down on Sunday night. They get a second chance at it. Tamina, Carmella, Becky Lynch, Natalia, and Charlotte Flair. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
Segment of the night, MF. There's no doubt about it. I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, the live crowd was hot for everything other than the announcement that the rematch would take place next week instead of being held while they were in attendance. And obviously, we understood the frustration that everybody expressed on Sunday night that they can only have one first women's Money in the Bank, and it was tarnished. But WWE garnered a lot of attention by taking the approach they did, and the rematch will be seen by more viewers on SmackDown Live. And wow, I mean, just it accomplished everything. I mean, this is exactly what I figured they were going to do: make history, do it on network television. Dee Dee Woodson had to walk away, so I'm going to try to take this for a spin as long as I can. Yes, all five made the case, and yeah, I mean, Daniel Bryan definitely. I mean, you hyped up everything. I mean, I was a little critical that they had to let it drag out a little bit. I mean, another small little gripe I would have had is I wish they would have made this the main event segment. I mean, this would have been a monumental way to close the show. But they obviously wanted to get the champ on in the main event spot, so I can certainly understand that. So yeah, I mean, it accomplished everything. I mean, Daniel Bryan was the star of the segment here. I mean, the crowd obviously wanted the match in their area, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be next week. San Diego, California, brace yourselves. You're going to be in for history. We're going to try this Money in the Bank women's ladder match again, and pray to God that this time that gelatinous tapeworm, James Ellsworth, does not stick his nose in this match. And if they were smart, if Daniel Bryan was smart, he would have barred that little toad from ringside. That's all I can say on that. So I hope they add a ruling where Ellsworth gets banned from ringside, or he does something stupid during the match where the referees will have no choice but to throw his sorry ass out. So that's really all I can say on this. So monumental announcement. It was exactly what I knew they were going to do. It's a thumbs up for me, no doubt about it. And as my boy Corey Graves always would like to say, yes, 1,000 times yes. So well done. So segment of the night, no doubt about it. MF, you're going to have to take it because Dee Dee ran away. So, I mean, I think no, you didn't have your say on this. I let off. So MF, I mean, we got to get your thoughts on this since Dee Dee had to step away. So, what do you think about all this?
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to jump in. I'm sorry. No, I gotta say, I'm a little shocked. I'm a little shocked but again, I don't think it was too much of a shocking moment. It's just that was what it was meant to be. That's how it, um, you know, it was definitely one of those cool decisions. It was amazing for what happened, and I love the fact that Daniel Bryan, this was the necessary and the right decision. I think after the way that it ended and the ugliness and really the fans really backlashing over the decision, I think it was best for all of us to say, you know what? Let's slam the reset button and let's do it the right way, And props to SmackDown Live. Not only that, but give us a second chance at this. For the first time ever on network TV, we get a Money in the Bank ladder match. We've never had a Money in the Bank ladder match on network television. It was always catered for pay-per-views. So that means we're going to get a Money in the Bank ladder match on SmackDown Live. Again, we've broken ground yet again on SmackDown Live. So for me, this is a win-win. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but I mean, I'm so amped for this. And it stinks because I know the fans wanted it to see the ladder match tonight, and they were so amped up. And then when Daniel said, no, we're going to do it next week, you heard the boos. People were not happy with that because they're like, we have to wait 1 week for this. Well, Sorry, guys, for all those fans in Dayton, Ohio. You guys, unfortunately, you guys ended up losing out on this. But for uh, Anthony, I think you said it. Is it going to be in San Diego next week? The 619? They're getting it.
San Diego 619, baby.
I mean, San Diego. Here's your moment. I mean, I'll bet you anything the tickets are going to sell out now. And not only that, but think about this. We also got a women's title fight as well. Naomi's going to put the title on the line against Lana. I mean, is open for maybe a cash in. We almost had a cash in tonight, but we'll get into that in a matter of minutes. So, I mean, my God, what a night, what an event. Hoo-wee. Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. Is Dee Dee Woodson back? Has she returned? Can we? I guess not. Okay, so we'll get into the main event, which was Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper, non-title fight. Jinder Mahal wins the bout, but this one got really interesting because, almost towards the end of the fight, Baron Corbin came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He did a lap around thinking, maybe I'll cash in now, getting into Mahal's head. He obviously does not. Then one of the Singh brothers tries to interfere. Harper swings to try to get him off. He gets hit with the conclave. 1, 2, 3 wins. Jinder Mahal wins. But when that ended, Randy Orton showed up, and boy, did he get a piece of all 3 members of that Mahal coalition. He basically tries to get a piece of Jinder Mahal. Does basically hits him, throws him into the timekeeper's table in the timekeeper area. Viper DDT off the barricade, tries to roll in to try to go for the RKO. Nah, because then next thing you know, the Singh brothers jump. Well, one gets RKO'd in the ring, one tries to jump off the rope. Yeah, RKO for you too. Out of nowhere, and man, this was kind of good. So solid main event. I believe this is where Dee Dee Woodson would have led off. I guess she's still on her little break, so I'll take it. I'll take it here. I thought the main event was fine. I thought it was good for what it was worth. I'll give it like 2.5 stars, 2 3/4, just to be on the safe side. But after that, holy cow, man! I mean, I love the fact that they teased the Money in the Bank briefcase cash in, Orton coming out at the end. Fine way to close the show. I had nothing bad to say about it at all. So, Anthony Flair, why don't you come on in, take it for a spin?
Yep, I'm ready.
Give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
Second best fight of the night, MF, no doubt about it. This was a 2.5 to 3 star match. I mean, let me see. Let me get my train of thought. Very good match with the now familiar formula of the Singhs providing the distraction before Mahal performs his finisher. The follow-up with Baron Corbin winning Money in the Bank, I got to say it was a little bit weak. I'm sorry to say. Sure, he taunted Jinder, but I'm surprised they didn't find time to have him deliver a promo coming off the biggest win of his career. Orton attacking Mahal and roughing up his minions made for a good close to the show. And, well, I've heard there was a video that came out on YouTube, Sean's View Entertainment. I'm surprised Derek didn't pick up on this already, but I am hearing rumblings, MF, that they might be bringing back the Punjabi prison match. So why wouldn't I be surprised if we get Mahal and Orton one more time for the title inside a Punjabi prison match, probably next month at Battleground? How do you follow that?
By saying it's time for the overall review. And all right, Dee Dee Woodson is back. Okay, so Dee Dee, let's catch you up quickly, my love, and we're gonna talk about, well, the one thing that I know you've been wanting to get your hands on for a little while, the final decision by Daniel Bryan. He strips the Money in the Bank, and more importantly, has announced that next week on SmackDown Live, for the first time ever on network TV, a Money in the Bank ladder match involving all 5 women again: Tamina, Carmella, Becky Lynch, Natalia, and Charlotte Flair. They all get an opportunity at the Money in the Bank for a second time segment.
Definitely the segment of the night. It's about damn time that somebody takes charge of this and puts Camilla in her place. And I would have loved to see him take down Ellsworth. I mean, I wouldn't have just given him a verbal warning for saying something like that about my daughter. I mean, I've got 5 kids and 2 of them are special needs. You say anything about my kids and I'm going to go off on you. And not just verbally either. So yeah, I would have loved to seen him take down Ellsworth. And, I love the fact that the crowd did cheer when he told them to shut up. So, Daniel stripping her of the title or Money in the Bank briefcase and setting up this match for next week. I'm all for it. Kevin was saying Carmella shouldn't even be in it, but of course, she still deserves a chance to win it legally. So, heck, I'm game for it. I'm happy with the decision. So, let's move on.
Main event of the evening, Jinder Mahal versus Luke Harper. Jinder Mahal wins the match. So give me your thoughts about the main event.
The match itself was okay. Probably 2.25 stars. I like the fact that Corbin did tease Jinder. He got in his head, but thanks to the Singh brothers, Jinder still pulled off the win. Orton coming out at the end, definitely something, if I was in that situation, I would probably end up doing too, you attack my family, I attack your family type situation. So yeah, loved how it ended. Can't wait to see where this is going to go. SmackDown is notorious for storyline progression, and I think they did a very good job with this main event. So let's go on.
All right, and it's now time for the overall review. As always, open form on overall reviews. So whoever wants to go, you can go. Go ahead.
You should make. I want to lead off on these from now on, MF. Because nobody knows the leadoff spot any better than I do. I love being the spark plug for all of it. So from now on, I lead off on overall reviews. Capiche? All right, got it. Good. Let's go. 18.
No, capiche. No, nothing like that, Florio. You don't want to. You don't go all Jesse the Body Ventura on me and get away with it, Florio. Lead off tonight, but in the future, I get to say my show, my rules.
I apologize, man. I do apologize, buddy. I'm sorry about that. All right, let's get into this. 7.5 to 8 out of 10 is my rating for this show tonight. This was a very good show. Storyline progression at its absolute finest here. There was plenty of hype for next week. Look what we got next week. We got 4 bouts for next week. I think the women are definitely going to be the show stealers here, no doubt about it. We got a women's title match, Naomi going up against Lana. The women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which if they're smart, they better make that the main event, honestly. Baron Corbin's going to go up against Sami Zayn. And then on top of that, we're going to have the Hype Brothers going up against the Usos in a non-title match. So there's your show right there next week. Where are the other guys going to fit in on this? I don't know. So we're going to have to figure it out. So San Diego, 619, brace yourselves. you're going to be in for a fun night next week with those 4 matches all already announced for next week. So, my lord, so that's going to be hella fun. And like I said, WWE, if you're smart, you make the main event that women's Money to Make ladder match. And God forbid if that gelatinous tapeworm known as James Ellsworth sticks his nose in that again, so help me God, you're going to have to hold me back next week. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Whoever wants it next, it's yours.
I'll agree. About 7.5 rating for tonight's show. It was a very good show. Very much on storyline progression. Great matches for next week. Not much bad I have to say about it, other than please stop putting Ziggler and Nakamura together. I mean that's to the point. We need to move on and give these two guys somebody else to fight. So let's stop that part. But other than that, great show. So I'll see you guys next week. Good night, guys.
All right, good night indeed. And yeah, no, I agree. I think this was a very good show. 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Anthony, you said it. They need Monday Night Raw really delivered a great show. You really put the pressure on SmackDown Live, and you know what? You're like, you know what? You challenged them, and I think in all attempted purposes and practically legitly, they answered the bell. They responded the only way they know how to, and that's to come back and basically say, okay, you can do things good, we can do it better. And I think they did very well. There's a lot of good fluidity on all the storylines right now. The women's division is so red hot right now. Addition of the Money in the Bank going down in San Diego next week. Then you got the title fight. So the women's division is so good right now on SmackDown Live. The world title picture is looking a lot better, of course, with Randy Orton wanting blood, wanting revenge on Jinder Mahal after the Singh brothers basically assaulted Cowboy Bob Orton at Money in the Bank, costing Randy the belt, the opportunity at winning the title. So, I mean, you got that. You got a nice little thing with the United States storyline right now, because you have basically AJ Styles is really poking the bear on Kevin Owens, and not only that, but even the tag team division is being well done as well, because you got the Usos and the New Day right now. So it looks like for once, basically unlike on Monday Night Raw, where there's a lot of good stories in certain areas, and then there's like one major gap. There is no gaps on SmackDown Live. They are all a well-oiled machine right now. Everything is going smoothly. There is no issues whatsoever that I can see where there's a problem. Now, I get it, the Nakamura thing. You got to give him give him another opponent, somebody that he needs to really build off him. I agree with that. I think that's the only downside right now. But other than that, SmackDown Live is looking from top to bottom. They're looking solid, man. I am loving what Team Blue is doing right now with Daniel Bryan back. I'm so happy he's back. We finally got that authority figure back, even though I thought Shane McMahon was doing a great job in the absence. But like we said, we've waited 8 weeks for Daniel Bryan to come back, and now he is back. God bless you, man. Good, I wish you nothing but the best. I know you're a little homesick right now because you want to be with your wife and your beautiful daughter. Understandable, but hopefully now that you are back, maybe you're on your way home back to Aberdeen, Washington, or maybe you're going back home to Aberdeen, Washington, or Arizona, wherever you guys are living now, and I want to say I wish you nothing but the best, Daniel Bryan, and good luck, man, my friend. Good luck. All right. So with that said, it's time for the Mikey's Mindset, and as always, is we started with Lucha this week. It was all about the one tournament that you want to win, the Dario, and the tournament began as this is going to be the most deepest tournament on in the history of the temple, and it started with the Mac. The Mac went 1-on-1 against Malasuete, and the winner of the bout advancing to the next round is the Mac. As many of you guys know, the Mac came so dangerously close in that fight all night against Johnny Mundo. If he wins this tournament, he gets another shot at Johnny Mundo for the title sometime down the line. I'm thinking at Ultimo Lucha. I'm thinking that. I think the tournament, if the tournament ends before, I think, or the winner of the fight gets the opportunity at Ultimo Lucha Tres. So get ready. So we still got a long way to go. But Pentagon Dark against Arges. Pentagon Dark wins the bout, and then after the fight, he breaks Argus's arm again. Oh man, Argus has been out for a little while, dealing with injuries and whatnot, and I don't know. I mean, Argus, I feel bad for you, man. Pentagon Dark, man, Cero Mero, man, no fear on this guy, and he definitely does his business. Okay, 3. Okay, this is the worst fight of the first round up to this point. Anthony's boy, Famous B, and the beautiful Brenda, and he went up against Tejano Jr. The winner of the bout, I think it was in like 20 seconds, was Tejano Jr. Tejano, Famous B tried to do the infamous, well, quote unquote, the finger poke of doom type finish. Just pin me. I'll just take the loss here. Tejano goes for the 1, goes for the 2, picks up Famous B, and he's like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have a little fun with you. You creep." Starts beating the living daylights, much to the delight of Anthony Florio. And yeah, he finishes them off basically in record time. So Tejano moves on to the next round. See ya, Famous B. Nice knowing ya. The main event of the night was Drago versus Aerostar. This was a great match. Fight of the night for me. Drago advances to the next round. This was a really good fight, man. This was at least 3.5 to 4, at least in my eyes. I thought this was a great match. Back and forth, great storyline. Everything came out so good. Yeah. So Drago wins. He moves on for Lucha Underground. I'm going to give this about 7 out of 10. I thought it was a very good show. I thought it was very strong in so many levels. I had nothing bad to say whatsoever. So, and I actually got some RWA news before we close the show for the evening. The RWA's got a show coming up on July 8th at the Chop Shop in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, I should say, and it's the AWR Twice in a Lifetime. Now, if many of you guys may know, well, I don't know if you guys know about this, but the AWR is that alternative, alternate wrestling reality. Now, they did one show before, and okay, what happened was, one of Anthony DeNellos' sons, started messing with the super suit of my boy, the Insane Dick Lane. And what happened next was it caused an alternate reality. I mean, we're talking people who were good were bad guys. Bad guys were good guys. And we even had some even more kookier stuff that went down on the show that I wish I could tell you, but you're going to have to see it on YouTube. I can only tell you that. You got to go on youtube.com, go to the RWA wrestling site, and watch that show. It was insane. It had me laughing. I was like, what the heck is this? And, it would be like, I can't even explain it. But welcome into the alternate dimension. It's going to go down on Saturday night, July 8th, from the Chop Shop Improv in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I got to note that it is in Pawtucket, not Providence anymore. And the biggest kicker is you don't have to pay to get in. If it's free, it's for you, and the AWR is going to do it again. All right, so but before I get going, I actually got the okay by the RWA to announce this. So, ladies and gentlemen, your first official match that has been signed for Legacy 10 at the Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be for the RWA Hype Championship of the World. And here for this big match, it is the reigning, defending RWA Hype Champion of the World. All rise for Judge Logan Chambers, and he's going to go up against Just Alex at elite status, and is now the #1 contender for the Hype Championship. That fight will go down tonight, July 22nd, from the Thayer Arena in Warwick, Rhode Island. You can get your tickets right now at squareup.com/store/RWA. And for more information, go on to rwawrestling.com. All the details, and for what we believe is going to be amazing evening, to say the very least. All right, guys, so that's it for tonight. That puts a bow on our show. And on Friday night, it is strictly sports. And this time around, we're talking NBA draft. We are going to go wall to wall coverage. Yes, it is going to be unbelievable how this will play out. It is going to be our grading like we do with the draft. We are going to grade everything about the NBA draft, what we liked, what we did not like. Could there be a rant? Very possible. Normally, there's a rant or two somewhere lying around in this draft. And definitely, if you guys have been following the NBA, we've had trades after trades after trade tonight. I mean, Dwight Howard just got traded to the Charlotte Hornets just minutes ago. It just hit the wires. So we're going to have all the details 10:30 Eastern on the Tone 25 on Anthony Foyo's channel. Until then, thank you so much for watching this. Leave a comment at the bottom, like the video, share it with all your friends on all platforms of social media. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night, everybody. So long for now. Hug the hand pounds, and we are